What's happening, guys? This is Mike's Total Dragon Channel. Today we are going to take a look at Savage Dragon issue number 20. This issue right here is going to be Savage Dragon's final battle with Overlord. Last time he went up against the Overlord, he ended up getting a serious beatdown. So this time he's coming back for round 2. So let's go ahead and we'll see how that works out for him. So we're probably going to do, I think I'm going to do issue 20 and 21 back to back. It's kind of like a little 2-part story. So I'll go ahead and do those two back to back because issue 21, it's kind of a real special setup. And it'll kind of go a little fast the way the books broke down. So I think I'll do both of these. So this is the cover right here for issue 20. We'll see Overlord right here on the front. Savage Dragon's this is basically the reflection of Dragon in Overlord's mask. And as always, our creator, writer, penciler, inker extraordinaire, Erik Larsen. So we start out with Dragon. He is fresh out of the hospital from his encounter with the Fiend. So his apartment got blown up and he got kicked out of his apartment. Everyone that lived there was like, dude, it's entirely too dangerous for you to be living here, so you got to go. So we see opening up, he's crashing with his co-worker Rita. There's a knock at the door. We see Dragon's reaction to Rita going to answer the door. His reaction is he's very worried. He's panicking because, you know, he's just coming off the incident where he had with the Fiend who had possessed Debbie's mother, who was the young lady who was killed when she opened the door earlier on in Dragon series. And she got murdered by somebody who was just like a crazy person. But so Dragon tackles her and from opening the door, and it is not someone who wants to kill him, although maybe she might. It's Rapture, his current girlfriend, Dragon's current girlfriend, and she is not too happy to see Dragon being in this situation with Rita. That is probably very understandable. Rapture takes some cheap shots right here at Rita, who, as we've seen from previous issues, has very low self-esteem and is very easily offended. So Rapture takes some shots at her, accusing basically them two of hooking up, and she runs off. Rita runs off, having her feelings hurt by what Rapture said. Rapture says she doesn't care. That's kind of crazy. Rapture just walks up into this other woman's house and just basically cusses her out. But that just goes to show you the type of strong character that Rapture is, you know. So then we cut to the police station here, where from what we saw from the previous issue, the police have Cyberface, and this guy here, he is the one of the members of Overlord's mafia or what have you, and so the police have got him in lockup. I think this is the guy who has the octopus come out of his stomach. I can't remember. I get him and the other guy who has the octopus in his head. I get him mixed up. So the police have got this guy locked up. And then we see, boom, big double page of some of Overlord's goons attacking the police station. And then we get to see some of Erik Larsen's original creations right here. His incredibly creative bad guys. This woman here, like her veins come alive and they come out of her arm, and she's using them basically as whips, which is crazy. And we've got another villain here who is basically like a big living volcano, like magma type guy. He just burns this guy to death with some hot lava he spits out. So we're seeing a lot of chaos here in the police department. So the phone rings here. Rita tells Dragon the station's under attack. They have to leave to go and try and help out. Meanwhile, they don't even wait for Rapture here. She's got a broke leg. So she got her leg broken. I believe it occurred in something that was going on in the Freak Force issue. But so she's basically left standing here after having cussed out Dragon and Rita. They're on their way to the police station. We continue to see the fallout between Alex and her ex-boyfriend. I say ex, even though I guess they're still together. But she's kind of fed up with him being, kind of uncomfortable with her relationship with Dragon and withholding the fact that he came to visit her. His insecurities towards Dragon have really hurt their relationship. Meanwhile, back at the police station, Dragon and Rita arrive on the scene. And so now we just got a bunch of action going on here where they're trying to stop the freaks from destroying the police station. Meanwhile, the freaks are there trying to get to Cyberface to kill Cyberface. Oh, look at this scene. They're trying to get to Cyberface and kill him because they know he knows everything there is to know about Overlord. And then we see Lieutenant Frank Darling with his big, huge gun. He just blows this guy away right here. Blam! B-L-A-M. That's a really cool shot. None of these guys are real heavyweights. Dragon and a couple members of the police force end up making light work of them. So they end up managing to stop the guys from breaking in and assassinating Cyberface. So they, Lieutenant Frank Darling, they are telling Cyberface, look, we stopped them now, but there's no guarantee that we're going to be able to continue stopping them. So spill the beans on what's going on with Overlord. And we've got this scene here. Cyberface is basically telling Lieutenant Frank Darling that Overlord is a man inside of a suit, and it's the only way he's able to maintain enough power to keep the mutant freaks in line. But he also eats, sleeps, and craps in the suit. So he's kind of telling them everything that he knows about Overlord and his suit. And like he says right here, his armor is not impregnable. There are fail-safes designed to shut down his force field and limit his firepower. So the blind spot that allows you to access Overlord's private elevator has been eliminated, but there's others. I can help you. I'll reveal everything, but you got to cut me loose. So Lieutenant Darling, he's like, I'll take that deal. So we've got this really cool double-page scene. Everyone's cowboyed up, strapped up to the gills with guns, and they're going to make this real big run here at Overlord's tower. So everyone's just kind of bullshitting right here, talking and chopping it up or whatever, as they begin the assault here on Overlord. You see that they're like in this helicopter and everyone's rappelling down. And Overlord tells them, I knew you guys were coming. I've been expecting you. So then, of course, we've got, as always, the world famous Fanatics letter page. The best letter page in the game, as I love to say. Look at this. So this letter right here, this is by Peter David, and look at Eric Larson's response. It's half of this page, all of this page, and all of this page. And yet there's more. And then Peter David basically has his little reply right here. So this is how we handle beef. This was the beef before Twitter. So that is Savage Dragon number 20. So we've got the big payoff coming up between Dragon and Overlord, and it's been a long time coming. So now let's issue number 21. We're picking up right where we left off. Just a huge explosion right here. It's just like some Die Hard type shit. And one thing, and everyone's just blown to hell. You see bodies being incinerated. Nothing left but skeletons. Dragon gets blown out the window to the helicopter. All his skin has basically been baked off. And he's saying, give me whatever guns you got left. I'm about to kill him or I'm going to die trying. This is a really boss-ass looking page right here. It's a really cool shot. I love Larson's sky background, nighttime sky. All the stars in the background. Dragon gets this big honking gun. Comes in. But I mean, you know, he's had all these guns before. He's been down this road before in his battle. This is kind of like a classic Larson pose. I see this pose right here, and I've seen it in a couple pages. I've seen it in his Spider-Man work. It's just one of those poses that works for him, I suppose. Overlord seems to be surprised. This issue here is it's kind of like Superman 75, where everything's just splash page, splash page, splash page. So we've got a lot of real big panels here. Real big action shots that reflect how dramatic this final battle is. Basically, Dragon is telling him, hey, look, man, the jig is up. We know everything about you. We know you're just a dude inside a suit. We know you don't have any real powers. You're just an old man in Iron Man armor. And Dragon fires just this one bullet right into his mouth. One shot. Boom. And then he's out. He's dead. He's fallen to his death. And then we cut to this right here. We see his pose, or him with the moon in the background, and it gives a breakdown of young Overlord Antonio Scignetti. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Killed his first man at 8. So we have a couple of flashbacks here that give us a little insight into his life of crime growing up. Then we've got a pin up here by Dan Panosian and Mark Pacelli. I'm not sure how that's pronounced, but this is what it looks like. Beefy ass dragon. And so we see him basically falling to his death. This is kind of like some life flashing before his eyes. See him in juvenile hall beating the hell out of folks. Just a general life of crime they're portraying him as living. More of his rise to power. Then you see this little mention, and the freaks arrived. They started asserting themselves. Phone call was all it took. That's where he gets the armor. Even if it cost him his second-hand man, the mafia fell. Vicious Circle took his place. And then we see him. He lands on that spike that Dragon was impaled upon, but because he's encased in armor, he lands on it and breaks that spike all to hell. You see Dragon, all his skin is basically just incinerated off. He's just, his outer skin is just incinerated off. He's just like muscle right now. You can see Overlord here on the ground. No mask. Mask broken off, just showing that he's an old-ass man. Good to see that the police showed up. Talk about being late. And then, of course, this guy here, he's the one that hates. He's that cop that's on the force that hates the Dragon, and he wants to blame him for everything. Frank Darling shuts that shit down right out the gate. Leave the Dragon out of it. You're the one who insisted you guys go alone. So then all the police is, or not the police, I'm sorry. The media's out front. Rapture shows up to show her man some love. There's Jimmy Olsen. And they asked Dragon about him destroying or beating the crime boss of Chicago. Officer Dragon, you just single-handedly defeated the most notorious villain the city of Chicago has ever seen. What are you going to do now? I'm going to Disneyland. So this is basically the wrap-up for the first big story arc for Savage Dragon. Kind of like his introduction to the city, showing Chicago is overrun. The letters just never stop with Savage Dragon. It's so impressive. So issue 21 is basically the wrap up for this storyline. He has officially taken out the big bad for Chicago. And as one thing we know about Savage Dragon, Eric Larson, when he kills people, they die and they are dead for good. So Overlord is dead. So now we are going to be moving into the next chapter of Savage Dragon. I think this is when he joins up with I think they're called the SOS, the Society of Superheroes. It's basically kind of like an Avenger style type of organization. So I want to say that starts here in issue 22, or it starts coming up soon. So, but in any case, that is wrap up for the first 21 issues of Savage Dragon. It's been really cool. 21 down, got about another 200 and something more to go. We'll get there one day, I suppose. But so until next time, you guys take care. We will talk to you later and have a good day. Bye-bye.